This is my new laser machine. Oh, well, it also does knife cutting and pen drawing. Oh, and believe it or not, inkjet printing. It's a 4-in-1 crafting dream machine. The xTool M1 Ultra. I'm really going to be putting it to the test in this video because I have my first craft fair in less than 2 weeks and I have a lot of projects to get done. But first I gotta finish putting it together and I'll let you know how setup goes. I do have some experience with the laser machine since I already have xTool's S1 model. So I know that while they seem intimidating, they're actually pretty easy to set up and get going. While I love my S1, I'm more than a little excited about how convenient the M1 Ultra is. Not only because it's a 4-in-1 machine, but also because it's a little bit smaller, which is still plenty big enough for my type of projects. I did a little material grid to get my settings right, and everything's going pretty well. The setup was actually pretty easy. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a night, and then tomorrow I will get started on all kinds of laser projects first. I have a long list of projects that I could make from just wood and just the laser. So I'm gonna try to make as many of them as I can in the next few days. But first we gotta make our test material grid. Now that I know the best settings for this wood, I'm ready to start making some keychains. I'm using 3mm birch plywood and the snapshot feature to get the perfect background for my project. Using the xTool app, you snap a photo of the working area and then you just click send to computer. Now you just insert whatever design you're working with, and using the settings you determined earlier from the test grid array, you get to making. Since the first one turned out so great, I went on to make a whole bunch more, and more keychains from some of my other designs too. In total, I think I have about 50 wood engraved keychains ready for my craft fair. I was also quite impressed with how well the laser machine handled these intricate designs and text. Then I made about 75 more of these, but without the keyholes, and those became pins and magnets. Moving on, I tried out this very thin wood veneer. It's 1/16 of an inch, making it about half the width of the normal wood I use. And this, in my opinion, happens to be perfect for wooden bookmarks. Another fun thing you can try is painting your wood before engraving it. The next thing I made is some mini frames to turn into magnets of my artwork. The frames are made out of wood, the backing is chipboard, and I just printed my artwork onto some sticker paper and added some magnets. The last laser engraved project that I decided to make was an ornament, and I think it turned out super cute. As I've been using this, the main thing that I've been shocked by is just how user-friendly it is. They really made a 4-in-1 machine that's good for beginners. I mean, things aren't going to be perfect every time, or especially on the first try, but they've really set it up to be beginner-friendly. And as I keep using it, it's just becoming easier. When I first got this, and especially when I first got my S1 laser machine, I was super intimidated by them, but they're really not that hard to use. And if you run into issues, you can just find the information online to help you. And they have customer support as well. Anyways, even though my favorite part's cutting and engraving wood, I think it's time to try out some new materials. Before I move on from the laser machine, I want to try out some different acrylics, a glass cup, and some faux leather. I've been wanting to add leatherette bookmarks to my products for a while now. And with my upcoming craft fair, I think it's the perfect time to launch them. Starting with a material test array, of course. I'm also considering making leather patches and leather notebooks. Let me know what you think in the comments. One thing to keep in mind about faux leather though is that some are made with PVC, which means you do not want to use a diode laser on it unless you want to breathe in toxic fumes. I don't know how popular of a product this will be, but I really love them personally. Next up on the materials is acrylic. Acrylic is a fun one because there's so many color options, but something to keep in mind is that a diode laser cannot handle transparent acrylics in certain colors. I was able to make this little pumpkin pin and some pickle earrings and keychains. Now since I have the riser base, I'm able to cut and engrave on bigger things and use the rotary tool. So here I am just moving my honeycomb panel down and putting my roller in so that I can put my glass cup on top of it. Like how the diode laser can't see transparent acrylic, it also can't see the glass, so I have to paint a little bit of black tempera paint on it so that the laser can do its job. I did do my test grid first to find the best settings, but I can't believe how well you can just see this on this glass. I'm biased, but I think it looks so good. And by the way, if this is looking fun and you want to make some of your own products using the M1 Ultra, I have a link in the description. Like I said, everything I'm making in this video is for my upcoming craft fair, which also means that I need displays and signs. First, I'm going to use this Lazy Susan that I bought to make a spin the wheel game. I already have these little dial rods that I would like to use as the little pins on the wheel. But first I'm just going to use the laser machine to score a perfect pie so that I know where the pins go. Then, after drilling some holes about halfway through the board, I glued the dowel rods into the holes. While I was waiting for that glue to dry, I designed, engraved, and cut a pay here sign and a social media sign. I printed out my QR codes on some sticker paper and then plopped them onto the signs, so now people at the craft fair can pay me or find me online to follow me. I next decided that my sticker display deserved its own little special sign, so I cut out the word stickers on some white acrylic and glued it to a yellow acrylic background. I decided to use magnet to attach it to my display just in case I ever change my mind on what I'm going to put on this display. Then I cut out some white acrylic circles to use as price signs. I can use a dry erase marker to make the price, and some museum putty to stick it to my displays. Technically, white acrylic is not on the approved material list, so just be aware of that. However, I was able to cut white acrylic, but it's pretty rough. Then I made this business sign to hang outside of my tent. Instead of gluing the letters on, I actually used 3M tape, which was so much easier. You just apply this to your wood, acrylic, or whatever you're using before you cut it. Now it's time to finish up my spin the wheel game, which requires a blade instead of the laser module. This is the fine point blade, which is similar to what you would find on a Cricut or Silhouette machine. As you can see, it's super simple to load in, and you just handle all of the settings the same way you do for the laser module. I first ran a little test to make sure everything was working right, and it came out perfect. So I added in my self-adhesive black vinyl and got to cutting. I added the vinyl onto my spin the wheel game and voila! Eventually I'll give this a nice coat of paint, make it really colorful, but for now it works great. While I didn't make the base of this using the laser machine, that is totally something you could do. Next, I wanted to use the fine point blades to try making some of the products that I usually make with my Cricut machine. Here I am cutting out some of my magnetic bookmarks, which are made from laminated cardstock. One thing that I found to be really cool about using this over the Cricut is the fact that my paper stays completely still and flat, meaning if I don't have a cut go all the way through, I can just run it again without worrying about it being off. Whereas you have to load the paper into the Cricut and it's more likely to be off. Okay, now there's a few more tools to try out. In addition to the fine point blade, there's also a deep cut blade, which can cut materials up to 2.5 millimeters thick. Then there's a rotary blade, which is great for fabrics like denim, cotton, and linen. Then there's an attachment for pins. Let's try that one out first. Again, all super easy to load in. Oh, and don't panic here, because I'm using a yellow pin, it's not showing through the orange lid. I decided to make a thank you card, which is a two-part process. So after the pin tool was finished, I unloaded the pin and loaded in the fine point blade, and it cut it out perfectly. A little folding, and there you go. This is perfect for making personalized cards. The next tool I tried out is one I'm really excited about. It's the foil transfer tip. For this, you take out the laser module, and then you just slide in the module that'll hold the foil tip. I laid down some purple cardstock, and then taped some foil transfer to it, and let the machine do the job. Now for the most exciting part that I think we've all been waiting for, the inkjet module. After another quick and easy setup, I did a calibration, and then I was off to printing some of my own images on wood. This is just a piece of 3mm basswood. I didn't do anything extra to prepare the wood, just went straight to printing, and the colors turned out pretty vibrant for being on wood. Now, while I'm impressed with the results, it's worth acknowledging that this is a simple 3-color printer, similar to the one you might have at home for paper, but without black ink. It'll perform best on things like white paper, but the fact that it can even print this well on wood is blowing my mind. And the fact that you can print then cut wood is such a cool feature. For this craft fair, I used the M1 Ultra's printer to make keychains, earrings, magnets, pins, and even a cute pumpkin garland. But if you'd like some more project ideas, be sure to check out my video about the xTool S1 because I went through a lot of project ideas there. And many of them could be adapted so that you're using the printer as well. Or check out xTool's own website for many ideas, inspiration, and project tutorials. As you can tell, there are so many materials that you can use with this machine that I didn't have an opportunity to even mention, let alone even try out in this video. I also wanted to briefly mention the xTool desktop air purifier because I use that pretty much constantly throughout this video so that I didn't have to open my window to the elements and was conveniently able to do all of my projects just in my studio. And speaking of other xTool machines, they were kind enough to send me their heat press to try out as well. You have precise control to adjust the temperature and time with this little display here, which is super convenient. So first up, I'm just going to make a tote bag. This is something I sell often, so I already have some DTF transfers that I'll be just trying out with this. But of course, HTV and sublimation are great options for this heat press. I'm following the directions that came with my transfers, which requires a pre-press, and then you lay it down and you do 7 seconds at 300 degrees. But xTool has all kinds of material guides and settings on their website that you should check out for whatever material you're using for both the heat press and the M1 Ultra. And there she is! I'm super excited to sell tote bags and t-shirts at my craft fair. And this is xTool's mini press. It also connects to that display so that you can have the precise heat and time control. In my opinion, the mini press is perfect for adding little labels to tote bags like I'm doing here or to your t-shirts so that it looks all nice and professional and so that people that buy your products can find your business again. So now you might be wondering, how did the craft fair actually go? Well, it was a total success. The signs made it look so much more professional, and so many people not only stopped and smiled at my products, but also, of course, bought them. Be sure to check out my next video, because I did a whole vlog on the process of getting ready for the craft fair. Craft fair doesn't start for another 15 minutes, and I already sold 2 people earrings. And now I'm just planning all the things that I can do to improve the booth and all the new products that I can make for the next craft fair. I am so excited to keep trying out new projects because I haven't even scratched the surface of all the things that can be made with this. But there are a few things that you should probably be aware of if you're thinking of getting your own. First of all, certain colors of acrylic and definitely transparent acrylic cannot be cut with a diode laser like this. And you should also be aware that this is definitely a trial and error type of machine. If you're a crafter, you're probably used to this and understand this and it's fine. But it's really the perfect machine for the crafter, the DIYer, and the person that likes to make homemade gifts. And of course, it's a great tool for artists and small business owners like myself. I especially think it would be great for anyone that does customization or personalization. I cannot wait to see what xTool does next as they hone in and perfect an all-in-one machine like this. What would be the first thing you make if you had one of these? Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. Just want to give a quick shout out to xTool and thank them for sending me these different machines to try out and review. There's not a lot more exciting to a creative person than a tool with endless possibilities. If this looks like something you would love to have so that you can make all your own creative projects, I have a link in my description so that you can go check out xTool's M1 Ultra.